Hey everybody, it's a burpee thing. Hey, it's a burpee thing. How y'all doing today? Listen, today I decided to make some beef empanadas, Mexican style, I guess you would say. Right now I have some ground beef in the pot, brown it up with some green peppers, red peppers, onions, and also some garlic. So everything's browning real good, stirring it up a little, make sure that everything is well cooked and not pink. So that way everything's mixed together. I'm hoping you can see all this. Okay, so the seasonings I'm going to put into the empanadas are paprika, cumin, and oregano, and some salt and pepper at the end for taste. So with the oregano, I have to pour it in my hand because it comes whole, and just sprinkle a little bit at a time onto the ground beef. As you can see, it's real whole pieces, so you have to really sprinkle it on. And now I'm going to stir it in to mix it in well, so that way it's all combined. And then I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of the cumin. And then I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of the Hungarian paprika. I will put the recipe and the ingredients and the amounts and everything in the description box. So if I forget something, don't worry. You'll find out at the end. So I'm stirring everything up and making sure everything is well combined. I love the pretty red color that the Hungarian paprika gives it. It gives it a nice color. So I'm stirring it around, making sure everything's cooking evenly, making sure all the seasonings are mixed in. So after I do that, I have to add some tomato paste and jalapeno peppers, pickled jalapeno peppers. It calls for a whole pickled jalapeno pepper, but as you know, my husband really doesn't like hotness, so I just cut like a third of it and then chopped it up, and then that's a tablespoon of tomato paste. So I'm gonna make sure all that's in, and I'm gonna mix that all up real good and combine it in with the tomato paste before I add the tomatoes. I have some diced tomatoes that I'm going to add in there to bring it all together. So there's my diced tomatoes. So I'm stirring and mixing and making sure everything is well combined, and it's looking pretty good. This is the first time I've done this, so I'm kind of happy with it. Right there, I'm pouring some of the juice of the canned tomato in because I didn't have any crushed tomatoes, so I just used a can of chopped tomatoes just to give it some more juice, because it just seemed like it really wasn't mixing together like it should. That's what you always have to do, improvise when it comes to recipes. So I'm letting it sit there for a couple minutes while it's heating a little and cooking a little still, and then I'm going to start stirring it up, mixing it some more to make sure that it's all combined and it has, the tomato paste is well combined in all the meat mixture. And right there, I'm trying to chop some of the tomatoes up a little bit so they're not so big going into the empanadas. So this looks like it's coming together all right, for the first time ever making it, and it smells delicious. You can smell the cumin and the Hungarian paprika all through the kitchen. It's an awesome smell. So right now I'm adding into the pepper. And that's like probably a half a teaspoon of pepper. And now I'm going to add in a half a teaspoon of salt. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. All right. So I just added some salt in it. And I'm going to stir it up some more to mix. And it's turning out really good. I'm really surprised. Really surprised. But it looks great. It really does. First time making it. It looks delicious. And now it's ready for me to put into the filling. So into the crust. I had bought some empanadas, I guess you would say pastry shells from the Spanish store, and we're going to use them. So I'm still mixing, making sure everything's mixing together and combined, so that way when I put it into the shells, it'll be good and all the seasons will be good and through everything. So I mean, it's looking pretty good to me. I think now I'm going to turn the burner off and I'm going to let it sit there and cool and get the shells together. So, so I have the flour on the board. And there's the ground beef. And there's the empanada shells. So I'm peeling. They look like they're separate. Each one has some kind of, I guess, parchment paper or something like that to separate them. So I'm getting like a spoonful of the filling, and I'm putting it in like kind of the center, and I'm putting enough in there so that it fills it up. So that way when you bite it, you have enough filling in it. It's not just dough. So I'm folding it over right now, and I'm closing it with my fingers, sealing it around the sides and around the front. And then I'm going to use the fork to like crimple it down to make sure that it stays completely closed while it goes in the fryer. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Over in my little fryer, I have vegetable oil that I got heating up to 375 so I can fry them in the vegetable oil. But also you can put some egg wash on it, and you can also bake them in the oven if you don't want to fry them. So right there, I'm taking some of the flour off so that all that flour doesn't go into the fryer with the empanada. So just make sure it's sealed real good. And I got so much flour on my hands, so I'm trying to get it off. So let me wash my hands real quick. Sorry that I'm leaving. Let me wash my hands to get some of this flour off. So next I'm going to start doing some more. I'm drying my hands off right now, so I'll be back in a couple of seconds. I am so sorry. This is so ghetto fabulous, but this is the first time I'm ever recording, voiceover. I had to be doing something. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to, so that one just had beef in it, so I'm going to do another one. And the wrapper, it has 10 of them in there, and since so much flour was on it before, I brushed some of the flour away, and I'm putting another scoop of the mixture in the center. I want to make sure I put enough in there so that way when you eat it, you have a lot of filling and not a lot of the meat. And I use like a taco blend to put in to the empanadas. So you can buy that at the grocery store where the cheese aisle is already shredded. And I just put a small amount on so that way it would have cheese on it. And making sure it's all in the center, and now I'm folding it over, making sure it stays, hoping that I didn't fill it too much. And then I'm going to seal the sides around like I did before with the fork. Seal them around real good so that way they don't come open when they go into the fryer. So this one's with cheese, with the taco cheese seasoning mix that you can get in the grocery store. And I'm just closing them up. All right, so I got that closed. So on to the next one. But you know what? I believe I have an empanada thing that I bought. There it is. I have them in 3 different sizes, so I'm using the large one right now. Let's see how this works. So I'm going to put a little bit of flour inside, so hopefully it doesn't stick. And now I'm going to take one of the shells and put it inside the empanada, I don't know, press, you would call it. And it's easier because you know exactly where to put the filling. So that was neat when I was using that for the very first time. And this one I'm also going to add cheese to. And I mean, this is really easy. This machine is really easy to use. And then you just close it up. And you just squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. And see how it's just closing up? I think this is a good thing that I bought. I saw this online one night, late at night, just browsing Amazon, seeing what's going on. And it turned out pretty good. It seems like it's sealed nicely. And now I'm going to go to the next one and continue to fill the rest of the shells up so that we can start frying them. So here's another one. And there's the filling in the inside. And this one is just going to be beef. Looks like I need to add some more meat. This one's going to be beef. So I make sure it goes in, stays in. Clamp it down. Real tight. Real tight. So that it stays closed. When I put it in the fryer, I really like this thing. This thing is really easy. And most likely I could probably do like apple turnovers and stuff like that in here because of the way that it presses it together. And I could fry some apple fried pies or something like that, or cherry fried pies or peach fried pies. So, wow, I really like this machine. I think this is a good thing that I bought. Okay, so I'm going to finish doing all the rest of them. Okay, guys, I got them frying. 2 of them came out already, and they look pretty good. Let me zoom in on them. They look pretty good. So as soon as I'm finished frying all the rest of them, I'll cut one open and you can see what it looks like inside. But that's how they look fried. Okay, everybody, this is the finished product. This is the last one. And let's see what it looks like on the inside. Oh, this is the one who has cheese in it. And now, can you see it? The ground beef and the cheese and stuff. Let's see if this was better. Here we go. You see it? They still kind of hot. But that's how they look. That's how they turned out. First time making them. So, bon appetit. And thanks for tuning in to It's a Burpee Thing. And I catch y'all all on the fly. Peace.